In every case, whatever is coming to you is a vibrational indicator of what you've got going on vibrationally. And so if we were standing in your physical shoes and something happened in our experience and we did not like it, we would bring ourselves into an awareness of what we prefer, and we would practice the preference so often and so vividly that there could never again be confusion on the part of the universal manager who arranges all campsites for all campers. Talk about a really effective concierge in the sky. There is never ever an injustice that is done ever, 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 ever. But there are plenty of times that you get something different than what you want. But when you get something different from what you want, it's not because an injustice has occurred. It's because you've got a different dominant vibration than your own desire. Don't you love knowing that? Not so much. So what it means is, it's important for you to relax in whatever's happening and accept. That's the most important thing. Accept that whatever's happening, whatever it is, whatever is manifesting is an indication of what? An indication of your vibrational balance. An indication of your vibrational balance. An indication of your vibrational balance. So not only do you have the benefit of emotions that let you know how you're doing pre-manifestationally, but you have stuff showing up that is your indicator of your vibrational mix post-manifestationally. So Esther's first knee-jerk response was, that's just fine. This campground has been a pain in the, for the entire 7, 8, 9 years we've been coming here. They never promised to give me what I want. And we say, you really don't want to need promises and confirmations from other humans, especially those who have a lot of other campers to please. You really don't want to depend on someone else's promise for the way your life turns out. You want to depend upon your vibration over which you have complete control. So we'll be talking today about anything that you want to talk about. We're eager to talk about whatever it is. But we want to give you fair warning that we have complete awareness of what you have already amassed over here in your, what we are calling vibrational reality. What we are calling this vortex of creation, where all things that match your desire have been assembled. All cooperative components have been assembled. The question is, are you a cooperative component? And if you're worried about something, if you're frustrated about something, as Esther thinks back, the few times that her mind moved in the direction of where they were parking the bus, she has to acknowledge that she thought about it from the I know what I don't want standpoint, no more than she did I know what I do want. They're also under an acorn tree. More machine gun fire. And so when they go to move the bus, it's necessary that they find a ladder taller than any one you've ever seen, to climb up on top of the bus, to sweep off the extended rooms, because they can't bring them in when there are nuts on the top of the bus. So as Esther is hearing the nuts falling, she is remembering how much she didn't like hearing them falling last time. And she is remembering how specific she was about not wanting to be under the falling nut tree again. And she is remembering that she had the experience, didn't like most of it, got in the bus and drove away, and never thought about it again until she returned. In other words, no effort whatsoever about cleaning up vibration. Just living it, complaining about it, not liking it, feeling the injustice of it, threatening to cut the tree down herself. It's a really big tree. And then driving away, not returning to that thought vibration, but leaving it right where it was, waiting for her. So the people who are establishing the new assignment are inspired by the power of her vibration to put her right there on that spot where she belongs. There's no injustice ever, is there? So The fair warning that we are giving you is that in all that you are living, you've launched these rockets of desire and you've put them into your vortex of creation. And they are being tended by the larger part of you. They stand as present tense. And this is the thing that we really want you to hear. What you have launched forward, when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, even though you're speaking of what you don't want, the equal and opposite desire goes forward. And the source within you rides that rocket of desire and holds that spot. That's what the evolution of all species is about. That's why life gets better and better and better for all beings, for all consciousness at all times. And so as we are visiting with you, even though you may have something going on, and clearly you do, there are all kinds of vivid things that are happening in your experience, and much of them you like and much of them you don't want. In other words, Jerry and Esther have a magnificent life. As we tell this story, there are glitches in their vibration and there are glitches in your vibration. And that's really what we want to talk about. We want to talk about how to work the glitches out of your vibration. How to bring yourself consciously into alignment with what you really want and who you really are. Because there is the way you gain control of your experience. You have to give up your effort at controlling the uncontrollable. Jerry and Esther have befriended so many people at that campground, thinking that they would have an inside scoop on how the campsites were assigned. And it never works out, because no one can buck their current. In other words, you cannot receive from anyone, even very well-meaning people, something that defies the vibration that you got going on. You got one choice and one choice only, and that is to line up with what you want by giving more attention to it than the opposite.